Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to State Playoff Connecticut Football. I will be your host, Casey Meyer.
And I'll also be your host, Nick Marini.
And this live stream is brought to you by the sports broadcasting class at Wilton High School. If you don't follow us on Instagram, please do. Creative Classroom 09. And for any other questions, please email Maria Brees at Wilton High School. We have the Torrington Raiders versus the Wilton Warriors tonight. Again, first round of state playoffs. A lot on the line here for two very solid teams. Torrington Raiders going 7-3, and your Wilton Warriors going 9-1. Just an outstanding season for them and for both teams, really. So, in order to keep that going here, it all comes down to the line tonight.
Yeah, just an amazing season here, especially for those seniors, able to cap it off with a 9-1 regular season so far here. So, great season for them. Actually, Torrington Raiders, they haven't made the playoffs yet here since 2021, so they're looking to keep their streak, looking to keep their little playoff run going here. Try not to let it end early because it's been a little bit of time since they've been here.
Yeah, these Raiders are, hungry, right? So there's guys on this team that haven't won a playoff game, right? Since their last playoff win being in 2021. So this team is hungry. Some big guys on this Raiders team as well. Multiple kids over 300 pounds, right? Multiple kids over 280 pounds, like a bunch. And Wilton, really one of their biggest kids is about 250 pounds. So there's definitely gonna be something to play into that tonight. But as we've seen from these Warriors, they come to play. The duo of Dustin and Calabrese has absolutely shone bright this season. With Dennis Dustin breaking the school record for touchdowns with 22, rushing for 796 yards, and averaging 100 yards per game. And as well as that, I think an important thing to say here, Nick, is the offensive line. Been talking to Grant Stein a lot in school, and he's really pumped about how well that the offensive line is doing, which is something on this broadcast we haven't been as focused on. Just a quick shout out to Ian Sims, Grant Stein, Trevor Galligan, Callum Jamelli, and Peter Skrzyński. All of those guys have been working their tails off on the offensive line game in and game out, which has led Calabrese and Dustin to do what they've been doing.
Yeah, and most importantly, you got to make sure that you're able to keep Calabrese and Dustin out of pressure here. Allowing them to have a minimal pressure game is going to be huge for their game plan, and creating pockets allow Calabrese to also run out of the pocket, but also Dennis to run up the gut and do what he does. So
yes, sir. About 5 minutes till game time here. I think the offense for the Warriors has really been the talking point, around Connecticut. But I think one thing that has really just, really needs the recognition is the defense. Curtis Jackson with 7.5 sacks in the season. Jake Padilla with 5 interceptions. This defense is elite, right? And as well as the offense. And, they are strong kids. They're quick, nimble. They're able to move around that offensive line, and they're able to get the quarterback down. It's fun to watch.
And don't forget about Curtis Jackson's partner on the other edge, Marco Chill. He's put in the work as well. Another senior. So the senior duo here, trying to create pressure on that Torrington quarterback here tonight is going to be big for him.
Yeah, for sure. And then taking a look over here at the Torrington Raiders, Aiden Hansen, the senior running back for the Raiders, as 1,115 rushing yards, toppling over that 1,000-yard mark on the regular season, and that's going to be a guy, slippery, pretty strong kid, not the biggest in size, but definitely one of the biggest in heart. As he's going to be a guy the Warriors are going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, we always talk about with the running back breaking that 1,000 mark. That's always big for him. That kind of tells what kind of running back he is. Just a dominant force here. And let's just see how the Wilton defense comes out and if they're ready for the game plan here. They're really trying to work Aiden Hansen probably tonight.
Yeah, Coach Rodriguez for Torrington is definitely going to have his work cut out for him tonight, as we've seen some absolutely beautiful play calling from the Warriors coach, Coach D'Annunzio, as we've seen plays where Dustin, the running back, comes out to throw. We've seen loads of plays that no one was expecting. We've seen Coach D'Annunzio go for it on fourth down loads of times. We've seen a lot of different things out of him, so we'll see if Coach Rodriguez is ready for all that.
Yeah, and one of those things about Coach D'Annunzio is that aggressiveness on fourth down, and that's what leads to scoring more points ultimately, is not opting for 3 points, but when they're in the red zone, going for it on fourth down, trying to really create some pressure and put some points on the board. That's kind of what he has to do. He has to keep that pressure in order to win this football game here tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
See if that Torrington defense is able to stop that Wilton offense. Last game they played was against Hillhouse, where they scored 42 points. That offense could not be stopped. Let's see if Wilton's able to continue that momentum here tonight and beat the Torrington Raiders.
2 minutes till game time here, as both teams are doing their final warm-ups, ready for this one.
Pretty cold out here today, so you wonder if the ground game is going to be big for both teams. Granted, they both have great running backs, but you wonder if this is going to be a big ground game here, trying to really go up the gut and try to just continue to get yards on every play, because it's going to be cold out there, so it's going to be hard to throw the ball. So see if Wilton even opts to use Alan Asta in the backfield as well alongside Dustin to kind of change the change of pace here.
Yeah. An important thing to note about Dustin was that he took a break last game, senior night, and didn't play at all. Talked to him a little bit. I got the sense that he had faith in his guys to pull out a dub. And they ended up winning by a lot. And he's coming back tonight. Hurt his ankle a little bit. Kind of stumbled him up, but he is ready to pounce on some Raiders tonight. He is fired up in school, restless. All these guys can't sit still, jittering all over the place, ready for some Tuesday night football.
Yeah, these guys are itching to play out here tonight, Big playoff game here. But one thing about Denny Dustin, he was able to not have to play in that Hill House game up 42-0 and senior night, so it was able to work out for those Warriors, not have to use Dustin at all, get full rest there, and able to use him in a winner-go-home game. So,
yeah,
that works out perfectly for Wilton. And Alan Austin did a great job last game, having 3 touchdowns. So let's see if he could, if both those running backs can be a force for this offense here tonight.
Yeah. Saw a lot of great things on that last game against Hill House for the Warriors. Mason Behar kicked a perfect game, 5 for 5. Alan Asta, 3 touchdowns. Saw a lot of great things, and I know that these guys are facing a much better team in the Torrington Raiders, but they are coming out ready to fire, coming out ready to pounce.
We're just about ready here for game time to start. The coin toss will be happening.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we want to extend a warm welcome to the Torrington High School Raiders. They are the number 7 seed representing...
Oh, that's another great point there, too. The Torrington Raiders are number 7 seed, and the Wilton Warriors are the number 2 seed. Interesting. It's an interesting place for the Warriors to be, where they're ahead of so many teams. We saw against Greenwich, we saw against Staples, them being the lower ranked team and upsetting them. But here, there's a good team in the Raiders, but they're lower ranked than the Warriors. With the Warriors being 2, Raiders being 7. So it's just something to think about as this game goes on. But I definitely know that these Warriors are coming out to pounce. They're not gonna get complacent. They're not gonna be cocky with their ranking. They're going to want to win, and they're going to want to do whatever they have to do to win.
Yeah, and it's curious to see how Coach Rodriguez has these guys playing too, see if these guys come fired up here to start. Haven't seen much of Torrington this year, so, curious to see what kind of game they play here tonight.
Yeah. Kind of a long trip here from Torrington. Pretty decently, pretty far drive for them. So, I know that I bet one of their talking points their coach is talking to them over there is the fact that they drove from so far to play this game. And I know that they're not going to want to just ride the bus silent. They're going to want, to have energy coming home on the bus and, not make it feel like a waste of time. So I know that's definitely going to play a factor in their energy in this game.
Yeah, I mean, coming all this way down, he's going to want to motivate these guys. He wants to get something out of it. He ultimately is getting something out of it, is getting a playoff win, especially since it's been 4 years. So, this team's going to be fighting hard. So Wilton better be ready as well, as much as Torrington should be ready for Wilton.
As we welcome the number 2 seed, the 91
Warriors are set to take the field here.
And here they come, led by senior captain Charlie Calabrese. Close behind him, Trevor Gallinen and number 3, Alan Osta, holding that Warriors flag, showing that school pride. Coach D'Annunzio pacing back and forth at the, on the sideline. Actually, really funny story about Coach D'Annunzio. Before the season, he told me he made a deal with his wife that until they lost their first game, he would be on a strict diet, And, hey, to his credit, he stuck with it and had to stick with it for a while as the Warriors went undefeated for a long amount of time. And, he is in great shape, I do have to say, as the diet clearly paid off for him. Gee.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a symbol for this Warriors team. They're not going to let anybody down. The effort, the grind, it's all there. It starts with D'Annunzio and setting the example here for the Warriors.
Yeah.
To make nights like this possible. Leading us in the singing of our national anthem tonight is Wilton High School junior Sophia DeVito.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose flashlight and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets the boats were singing, came through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Caesar's and star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home
And ladies and gentlemen, playoff football is about to begin. The captains get ready here for the coin toss. Warrior captains Charlie Calabrese, Alan Osta, Curtis Jackson, Trevor Galligan, and Grant Stein here. All big players, important players for the Warriors.
You know, just great leaders on this football team, taking them to trying to take them to the promised land here.
Representing the Warriors, captains number 2, Charlie Calabrese, number 3, Alan Oster, number 8, Curtis Jackson, number 50, Grant Stein, and number 51, Trevor Gallagher.
Students starting to fill out a little bit for the Warriors. You know, really cold out today, so not going to expect the biggest turnout. But you know, the Warriors have shown such pride throughout this season, so you know we'll definitely expect to see a decent amount.
Yeah, you know, as the game continues to go on, you might see some more people coming in. You know, even the family section of the stands here looks pretty filled here. So you know, cheering on those Warriors tonight.
Wilton has won the coin toss, and they will opt to kick first. And the boys are coming, rushing back to their sideline, pumped up, amped up. I'm amped up right now. I'm ready to go, ready to watch some playoff football. Are you ready, Nick?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for a big game here. I want live action on both sides. You know, getting this crowd going, getting all the energy going. You know, energy is what I want. That's what I want here tonight. You can tell how cold it is. You know, a lot of these Warriors wearing those oversized jackets, trying to keep them warm on the sidelines. You know, this is the first of a few games where they had to pull out these jackets. So you know, seeing if they could shake off the cold quick.
Mason Behar, number 6, with the punt here.
Kicking off for the Warriors, number 6, Mason Behar. He can take the kick for the Raiders, number 6, Joseph Daniel.
Joey Daniel, number 6.
Along with number 2,
And number 2, Aiden Casella, are both here. And ladies and gentlemen, we are off. Mason Behar kicks it high. And he finds a lane at the middle, but he is tackled by number 9, Marco Chilla.
Saving any more bad news, you know, if he got past him, you might have been looking at setting up shop past the 50-yard line. So still a good field position for the Raiders, but good stop to not let him get to the next level hit there.
Joey Daniel with the run on that one. Clearly an athletic kid, able to find a lane, but Marco Chilla able to stop him from doing further damage. And here the Raiders are. Oh, baiting the Warriors to go off sides. That was, you know, clearly a strategic move where the quarterback and the entire team actually jolted, you know, making the Warriors to get an offsides call.
Yeah, that's pretty smart, you know, getting the hard count going early, you know, because, you know, the energy's there for the Warriors. They're antsy, so, you know, they get a free 5 yards on that one.
They're ready. Almost went off sides again. Quarterback. Oh, he's got nowhere to go. Defense surrounds him, takes him down.
The minute that ball was snapped, he had nowhere to go. Wilton bursted right through that offensive line, but you see they almost jumped again on that hard count. You know, they really got to start cracking down on that, and you know, have to make sure you're not extending too much where you get the penalty. But
interesting move, you know, because it didn't really seem like the the Raiders would be throwing there. Kevin Levitt here taking the snap once again. Levitt takes a snap. It's a run play. Tries to go up the middle. He stopped once again. Nowhere to go as the Warriors defense go back-to-back stops here. 3rd and 8.
Curious to see if they really unload the pass game, see if they try to go downfield. It's been 2 runs, modest runs here. Need to throw downfield, see if the Warriors are ready for it.
From watching film of the Raiders, it doesn't really seem like they throw. Levitt's going to take the snap here. You'd probably expect a run play once again. We'll see what the Rodriguez has him do. Oh, it's not to Levitt. It's to number 26. Almost picked off. The snap there was to number 26, Evan Roman, as the defense just surrounded him and did a great job there making a stop. So the punt unit will take the field here for the Raiders.
Yeah, good defense there from the Warriors. Something I've noticed here is that the Raiders offense, they stand up straight, and then when they're about to snap the ball, they go into a squat position, and that's what's getting the Warriors confused. They're probably trying to use that to their advantage because the passing game right now didn't look like they really were trying to utilize it, and see if the Warriors are going to be caught off guard if they throw downfield. But good first possession there for the Warriors on defense.
Roman with the punt. It's blocked! It is blocked. It will spin. Jake Padilla will pick it up. He stays on his feet. And he's pushed out of bounds. The punt was blocked as the Warriors defense swarmed him. Jake Padilla picked it up. Got the chance to gain even more yards down at the 25-yard line. Just amazing work there. Beautiful play from the Warriors.
Looked awfully similar. Like the first play we saw in the game is when they ran and they clobbered that pocket real quick. There were more than one warrior there to block that punt. There's energy there on that edge.
Calabrese and Dustin in the backfield here. Calabrese takes a snap. It's a flip to Dustin. Dustin taken down by number 21. Just was able to find him. Dustin didn't have much space. Cameron Roxbury for the Raiders. Great defense by him. Able to find Dustin. Because when Dustin gets going, he gets going. He is. The second you lose him, he's gone. So it's important that blocks from Roxbury. That was important.
Yeah, and there's just nowhere to go for Dustin. That play was not able to develop. The minute that ball was snapped, it looked like the Raiders' defense was ready for that one. So, it's a good starting field position for the Warriors on their first possession, but you want to make sure you are able to cash in here.
9 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. It's a fake to Dustin. Calabrese has it himself. Calabrese on the outside. He's still on his feet. He's still going. Down at the 20-yard line. Charlie Calabrese does what he does.
That is about the perfect play call you can have. Raiders defense is trying to bite on Dustin. Make sure he doesn't get any yards, and Calabrese has a free lane going up for a first down and then some.
First and 10 for the Warriors. First down on the last play. Calabrese takes a snap. It's a handoff to Dustin. Dustin! He's on his feet. He's still going. No one's going to catch him. The 5. Touchdown! Warriors! Number 21, Dennis Dustin. Cashing it in for the first touchdown for your Wilton Warriors.
That was just a great run, the offensive line creating much space, and Dustin wasn't really challenged on that play. He was barely tapped on the play and just ran right into the end zone pretty easily. So, great start for that Warriors, great start for Dustin, and their defense back out in that field after this kick and see if they could stop him.
Mason Behar. It's good. Oh, excuse me. No good. Tough angle from here. Just a little bit to the left on that last play. On that last kick. But 9 minutes left here. 6-0. Warriors lead.
that's just the Warriors taking advantage of that great field position. Let's see if on this play, if they're not able to let Torrington get so many yards on that kick return, see if they can stop him at that 20-25 and set up shop there this time.
The Warriors set to kick off here again. Mason Behar.
They barely used any clock on that first drive, neither team, so 9 minutes left and we already have a score here.
A low approach here. And number 11, Abraham Rodwan will just take it down. No need to do any running there as he just brings it down.
Yeah, excellent field position past the 30, so he's not gonna take advantage. He's just gonna set up shop there and see if that offense can get going. Let's see if that run game can get going. I have a feeling these Warriors are ready for it, and I don't know if Torrington offense can be able to break through that front seven from the Warriors here tonight.
Whoa, a little trickery here. Mixing it up, going from the left side to the right side. Levitt here all set to take the snap. Oh, and it's actually to Roman. Roman tries to go up the middle, and he's pushed down.
Yeah, what they do is when they do that squat position, it looks like it's not fooling the Warriors anymore, and again, just barely gaining anything, fighting for practically a yard, and that's just Raiders offense is really struggling right now, and to gain any yardage, they still have no first downs here.
But, definitely seen some good things from these Raiders, so, I wouldn't expect them to have some big plays sometime soon. Levitt here takes it himself, jumping around, scurrying, gaining about 4 yards.
Looks like they're probably going to operate from this option type backfield where they can hand it off to multiple people, and it's more than just a traditional quarterback running back in the backfield, but looks like they have a different kind of personnel out on the field here.
Leva and Roman in the backfield together. To Roman this time. Roman doesn't go anywhere. Brought down again by the Warriors. It will be 4th down. We'll see if Rodriguez puts out his punting unit or tries to go for it. And let's see.
Looks like they're staying on the field here.
Last punt was blocked by the Warriors. And they will be staying out. No punt here. They'll be going for it on 4th down.
They failed to convert. Great field position for the Warriors.
Whistle blown by the ref. Delay a game against the Raiders, and it will push them back 5 yards.
You wonder here if they opt to punt, maybe trying to catch that team off, catch the Warriors off guard, but they elect to punt here.
Yeah, now they'll bring out the punting unit. So Rodriguez, what he was doing there, he was trying to see if he could have the Warriors make any mistakes. They didn't. They kept their composure
because they were within 5 yards. So an encroachment on the defense would grant them an automatic first down there.
Roman kicks it high. Up. Let's see what happens. Nobody will touch it.
Spotted exactly on the 35-yard line.
6 minutes left in the first quarter.
Let's see if they have Calabrese drop back to pass and make a pass down the field. See if they open up the pass game here for him.
It is Calabrese and Dustin in the backfield again. McAndrews motion on the outside. Calabrese looks to pass. He keeps it himself. A flag is thrown, but Calabrese is still up. Calabrese is going. Calabrese is down at the 20-yard line.
My guess would be on a personal foul on the defense. It looked like McAndrews was about to break free, but he was tripped. But the Warriors still making it pay here with the scramble from Calabrese.
Yes. Charge was against the Raiders.
Just like that, after one play, the Warriors are on the 25-yard line, itching to score again.
Calabrese and Dustin. Calabrese takes a snap. The handoff to Dustin. Dustin powers through. Maneuvers around. He's still on his feet. 5. Touchdown, Dennis Dustin. Does it again.
Just like that, Dustin again. Fair, a little bit of trouble getting through, breaks through that, but again, pretty easy run going around the outside and runs right into the end zone. And 12-0 here early for the Warriors.
Also, great work there by the offensive line. These Torrington Raiders they're big, and they maneuvered him around to give Dustin a lane.
And now we were saying that was an X factor for tonight, that offensive line for the Warriors, and it's looking pretty stellar right now.
It's good. Mason Mayar gets it in.
Able to get back on track with the made extra point here. 13-0 lead for the Warriors.
Nothing with 5 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Those are two fairly quick drives for the Warriors, not wasting any time on either possession. And let's see if that defense can get that offense right back out on the field pretty quick again.
A liner from Mason Behar. The Raiders will not touch it, but there will be a penalty flag.
Again, with that flag, it looks like the Raiders will have great field position once again for the third straight time on their first drive.
And 10, Torrington.
Levin Roman in the backfield again. The heavy package, as we can expect a run here. To Roman, another run. Roman is taken down. They got nowhere to go, Nick,
Yeah, and one of the key things that they're going to try to do with that offense is when they line up, they have two fullbacks lined up right behind the offensive line, looking to create extra holes, more blocking for that run, but Warriors are ready for it and not allowing this Raiders offense to really cut upfield and gain more than a couple yards on a run.
Yeah. This time to Roman again. It's another handoff. What? Number 21. He's on his feet. He's down. Cameron Roxbury, number 21. an interesting trick play there from Coach Rodriguez, as the snap was originally to Evan Roman, but it was handed off to Cameron Roxbury.
Yeah, that's just great play call from Rodriguez, understanding that the Warriors are ready for that run game up the middle, and they're probably waiting for it, but they've been going a lot of north-south, so, able to kick it out east-west and gain a substantial amount of yards on that play and see if they utilize that play even more here down the stretch.
Roman again. And he's taken down. Nico Mercado, number 10. Punches through. Takes him down. That's a scary kid, Nick. Seen him all season long. That kid hits hard, Would not want to be on the other end of his hits.
Yeah, and another junior, Michael Duarte, another big hitter on that team, Both of them are big junior standouts here.
Christian Babinski as well.
Yep.
It's to Levitt. Levitt looks on the outside, tries to find a lane, and he's down.
Yeah, the Raiders were pretty much bottled up on that play and nowhere to go. And again, very minimal offense from the Raiders.
A turnover on downs.
And the Warriors will start on the 40-yard line.
Dennis Dustin already 2 touchdowns on the night. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 3 minutes left in the first quarter, and Dennis Dustin already has 2 touchdowns. At the same time, expect the expected. We knew this was going to happen from Dennis. Just an absolute stud. Calabrese and Dustin here. Calabrese looks to pass. Dustin blocking for him. Calabrese down. It's deep. Just a bit too far.
These receivers are getting open. On that flag earlier, McAndrews would have broken free if it wasn't for that trip. So, a little bit of a misfire here. But, if we can get Calabrese going in the air as well, these receivers are open. So, get that diverse offense going, being able to run the ball up the gut outside, but also being able to throw it over the middle for completions as well.
Calabrese and Dustin. It's a short pass to Dustin. Dustin on the outside. He cuts through the middle. No one's going to touch him, ladies and gentlemen. Again. Another one. Dennis Dustin, number 21. Punches it through. Just without a care in the world. 3rd touchdown of the night.
Dustin cannot be stopped tonight, and again, another easy run or an easy pitch out of the backfield, but able for Dustin to go up for a score and untouched once again.
I think it's really something to be said about the quality of this Torrington Raiders team. This is a great this is not this is not the team that Dennis is making them out to be. This is a great. Their defense is good. They're 7-3. They're a solid football program. But Dennis just is a stud. He just makes teams look so much worse than they are. And it's nothing against the Raiders. It's really just the quality and how good number 21 is.
And I like the play art on that one. They're able to get Dustin accelerating out of the backfield, and he catches it when he's on the fly, so he's able to turn up quick. He doesn't have to take time to gain speed. He's already pretty much at full speed once he catches that ball, and just really hard to stop when you execute it that perfectly.
20-0 is the current score with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Whew. A lot of coming back for the Raiders to do. A lot of coming back.
Yeah, early deficit for the Raiders, but the Warriors have to keep their foot on the gas pedal. They cannot take any breaks because that Raiders team can crawl back into it and make this thing a game again.
Yeah, and again, it's a good team, right? They're a solid team, so you don't want to give them any room. A high one to number 11 here. Abraham Radwan is taken down.
down 20-0 early, you know, you have to start to figure if the Raiders offense starts to throw the ball downfield. I know it's not really a big offense, but with a deficit like this early, you need to get substantial yards on plays and maintain as much clock as possible.
Roman takes the snap here. Oh, tries to go up the middle. He's taken down. He's got nowhere to go.
Initially by number 91, Christian Kaminsky.
20-0 Warriors lead. Again, 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Those Warriors DBs haven't really been put to work thus far, but that front seven's really getting in the trenches here.
Snap to Roman. Roman tries to go on the outside, and he gets a couple yards there to make it 3rd and 4. Closest to a first down the Raiders have been tonight.
Yeah, you know, a good effort run by the Raiders, and those two fullbacks in the backfield, when done right, you know, can create really nice holes for this offense.
Heavy package here for the Raiders. Snap to Levitt. Levitt tries to take it himself. Levitt, he's got nowhere to go. Pushed back 2 yards.
Alan Austin with the tackle on that one, you know. He can be described as a Swiss Army knife. He can do it on both sides of the ball. You know, he can be in the backfield for the Warriors, but you know, he can be all over the place on defense as well. So, you know, a really huge contributor for the Warriors on both sides of the ball.
Kid is jacked too. He's got benches like 400 pounds, something like that.
Yeah, he benches a ton of weight here.
Levitt and Roman here. To snap to Levitt, but it's a fake. Oh, there was a fake where Levitt, Kevin Levitt, you know, faked the snap, but it was actually the center who snuck in for the first down.
Yeah, because Curtis Jackson looked like he was sacking the quarterback, but little did he know that guy sneaked through that offense. You know, fooled us here in the booth as well.
First and 10 here for the Raiders. It's another fake going up the middle again. Going to be something that, you know, just some trickery. Not going to get the Raiders a lot of yards, but it's going to get them efficient yards.
Yeah, creative play call is going to be huge for Coach Rodriguez. You know, catching this Warrior defense off guard is one way that they're really going to get substantial yards here in this football game. 27 seconds left in the first quarter.
Offsides. Offsides Warriors. Again, you know, the game within the game. You know, the Raiders just this is something that they do, as it will actually lead to a first down Raiders. You know, it's just interesting as they keep trying to trick the Warriors, and it's working. It's paying off for them. It's how they're getting their yards. And that's it. The first quarter has ended with 20-0 as the Warriors lead.
Pretty much been all Warriors here in this first quarter. The Raiders are gaining some momentum here on this drive, looking to put up a 7 on that board and cut it to a 2-possession game.
Definitely seen a great game here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, from the this is from the president, Amy Haggerty. If any of you are interested in supporting those in need this holiday season, Wilton's Feeding 500 Club is organizing their Holiday Hustle 5K this Sunday, December 17th. Find them on Instagram if you are interested in signing up. Amy Haggerty, also in the broadcasting class, so she's a part of this broadcast as well. First and 10 here for the Raiders. Levin Roman in the backfield. Could expect some trickery on this one. It's another fake. Push it up the middle. They're pushing him back. They're fighting. There it is. Down. You know, it's just like we said this before, but these Raiders are big. You know, there are big kids on this team, and it's just something that they're, you know, good. They're going to be able to do well if they just push forward. They keep doing that. It's definitely annoying. It's definitely frustrating, especially for the Warriors. But you know, if it works, it works.
Yeah, but that's probably a big contributor to why they're 7-3 this season.
To snap this time to Roman. And Roman slides around to get a couple yards. 3rd and 4 here. Or, excuse me, 3rd and 6 about.
And 5.
Roman takes a snap. Roman jumps around. Did he get the first down? Seems to be a bit short. Flag is thrown. Some fighting going on, some tussling. Some words between Marco Chilla and Roman.
But that fight was easily put to bed. Still not sure if they rule it at first down or not. I think it is a first down here, Casey.
Yeah, they might have just snuck in. You know, that's definitely just something that, you know, words, there's emotion in this football game. You can see the passion both of these teams have, but, you know, fighting and tussling like that just has no place in high school football. And I know both these teams know that. And but good that it was taken to rest quickly, and it will be the Raiders will get the first down there, 1st and 10.
Yeah, they'll start 1st and 10 despite the fact of all that tussling. But again, like I said before, they really need to put 7 points here and make this a 2-possession game and get that defense to stop the Warriors, because anything shy of 7 points is going to still put them behind the 8 ball, given that offense on the Warriors is still unstoppable thus far.
So, snap to Roman, but then it is a snap to Roxbury, but he's taken down. Number 10, Nico Mercado, just pummels him to the ground to send him back where they came. 2nd and 17.
The pursuit from Mercado in that play was excellent. You know, read that play like a book, and a nice tackle for loss. It goes down in the stat sheet as a tackle for loss for him, and, you know, just a great defensive play there.
And, you know, those plays are huge because now it's going to be tough for the Raiders to do that little center push where they just kind of fling themselves forward. We'll see if they opt to do that play or if they try and go with another run here. We've seen Roxbury come in the mix. You know, we've seen him swing over and get a couple hands off. So we'll see if they keep doing that. This time, oh my gosh! And it's intercepted! Interception! It will be a turnover as the first pass attempt for the Raiders will be intercepted by number 11, Jake Padilla. And Jake Padilla, ladies and gentlemen, 5 interceptions on the regular season. He had 4 interceptions in one game, which, if I'm not mistaken, tied a state record. Just an athlete, you know, also a wide receiver. And it was, you know, for the first passing attempt from the Raiders.
Second passing attempt from the Raiders.
It did not go their way.
Yeah, and that looked kind of like almost like a fly ball to center field. You know, Jake Padilla was camped right underneath and right into the breadbasket, and you know, records the interception here. Gets that Warriors offense right back on the field, and again, a crucial turnover for the Raiders.
The handoff to Asta. Asta's on his feet. Asta's on the outside. Asta pushes through. He's still up. He's still up. It takes a city to tackle that man. Number 3, Alan Asta, with a long run.
And that's just an example of what I said before, the Swiss Army knife. You know, he was able to make a nice play on defense, a nice tackle for loss, and here he comes making a nice rush, gaining a first down there. You know, he's a man just full of muscle. You know, it's going to be hard to take that guy down.
You know, that was where the duo became a trio. So we see Dustin and Calabrese all the time. Then we see Asta in the mix, you know. Then the defense goes, what do we do? You know, who do we guard, right?
And you have to keep into account Calabrese can run outside the pocket as well. So they practically have 3 running backs with an excellent throwing quarterback as well. So, you know, this offense is just moving right now.
Scary, Nick. It's scary. First and 10, Wilton. 20-0 is still the Warriors' lead. It's a snap to Calabrese. Calabrese takes it himself. He is hacked at by the Raiders.
Looks like the Warriors sidelines and the fans were trying to look for a horse collar in that one on Calabrese, but they do not get the flag. But, you know, a good run nonetheless.
Ian Sims, number 71, was also kind of yanked on that one. Calabrese, Austin, and Dustin. Calabrese looks to pass. It's deep to number 5. Oh, and it's caught. Oh. Just slipped out of his hands. Theosachazimis. No real harm there. Just would have been almost barely a fantastic catch. Just slipped from number 5. No harm there.
Once I saw Satrazimis lined up on the near sideline, I was reading his route the whole time on that play, and just an excellent route.
Yeah, for sure.
Although he doesn't
Quick
get credit
kid,
for
just
a
beat him.
catch, you know, just really creating a ton of space there.
Calabrese, Austin, Asta, and Dustin here again. Calabrese, it's a run himself. Calabrese powers through. Just, man, he just is quick and nimble, slippery.
Like I said before, you know, he's a great quarterback throwing the ball, but he operates like a running back as well when he runs. He doesn't look to slide. You know, he operates like Dustin and Asta. He's not afraid to put his body on the line, and that helps this Warriors team get more yards and, you know, just kind of the guy he is, you know, just a fighter on the field.
Timeout Warriors.
Wilton, that's the first of the first half.
First timeout of the first half.
The Warriors' offensive line on this drive, nothing but gaping holes for the offense to run through. I mean, zero pressure, and just this Warriors team is barely untouched on these runs. Just great plays here. Great play calling. Great variation from coach, and Denunzi's just having a good play call right now.
Yeah. Alan Osta will line up again here with Dustin and Calabrese. Curtis Jackson joining the offensive line, a primarily defensive player, just clearly he's able to do it on both sides.
Yeah, he's positioned as a tight end. He lines up almost like a blocker, but he's able to run some routes as well.
It's a handoff to Dustin. Dustin pushes through. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, he does it again. His not first, not second, not third, but fourth touchdown of the night.
That was just great agility and skill from Dustin. The juke move and the balance there, just an excellent run on that one. Again, that's his fourth touchdown here.
Of the first half. There's 7 minutes left in the first half, and Dustin has 4 touchdowns. Flag is thrown. Not sure what the problem was.
False start on the offense.
On the offense.
It's going to push him back. Mason Behar will get a chance to re-kick the football here.
Behar kicks it up. It's good. Mason Behar slips it in.
His best kick all night. That was a no-doubter right through the middle. Great power on that one. 2 straight extra points here for Mason, trying to get back on track here, and it looks good for him so far.
27-0. Warriors lead. 7 minutes left in the first half. 27-0.
Scoreboard once again. That leads pitch 21-0 in the second quarter.
One guy we haven't talked much about is Hudson Paulson, the opposite to Jake Padilla on the defensive side of the ball. He's having another great season, great junior season for him as well. So
Mason Behar. A liner. A low ground ball here as the Raiders will just knee it. Kind of ragdoll onto the ground there. For just a quick down.
Yeah, that's the second squib kick for Mason. But the Raiders not taking their chances. They're just gonna sit on top of the football on that one and start on the 30-yard line.
30-yard line, first and 10, Torrington.
Levin Roman here. To Roman, but it's hands it off, but it's a fumble. Ball was loose.
Looks like it's recovered by the Raiders.
Roxbury
And they do.
Got the handoff on that one, just slipped out of his hands.
Raiders lucky enough to fall on top of that one, but it will be a loss of yardage there. Loss of 4, 2nd and 14 here for the Raiders.
Roman up the middle, and he's pushed down. No surprise. Christian Babinski, number 91, pushed him down.
Just the common theme for this Warriors defense is just nowhere to go for these running backs. 3rd and forever, it feels like, for this Raiders offense.
And just want to give a quick shout out here on the sideline. He's kind of hidden here, but most kids have jackets on. Grant Stein's wearing short sleeves and shorts. It's 30 degrees outside. Levitt takes a snap. He's pushed down. Once again. Number 50, Grant Stein, kind of in the middle there. You know, he is wearing short sleeves and shorts. It's like 30 degrees. I think everyone else is wearing jackets. You know, most people are in blankets, and it's just, you know, an outstanding kid, outstanding player. Just a real shocker.
Yeah, definitely. You know, in this cold weather, you won't catch me wearing a t-shirt and or just no sleeves at all and shorts.
It's blocked again. It's picked up from Marco Chilla. And he sneaks it in for a touchdown.
A classic scoop and score for this Warriors defense and special teams. It's the second block kick of the block punt of the night.
33-0. Wow. Just, you can see the teamwork there as the Warriors were able to sneak around, you know, and block that punt. But then there was also Marco Chilla sneaking up from behind to pick it up and sneaking in for a touchdown. Just fantastic play. Fantastic.
Fairly easy for Chilla, you know, just pick it up and, you know, right into the end zone, you know, right place at the right time and extend that Warrior lead.
Marco Chilla is fired up.
The whole Warrior team is fired up.
It's up. It's good. Mason Behar does it again.
Has been perfect after his first miss of the game here, but great kicking performance from Behar tonight.
4 minutes left here in the first half.
Wilton is currently leading 34-0 with 4 minutes and 46 seconds left here in the first half.
Aiden Casella and Joseph Daniel here, all set to return this one, but we'll see if Mason goes for a liner. And he does. A ground ball. Bounces up. Oh, it threw some legs. It's a live ball. It's Warriors ball. The Warriors pick it up, keeping that run going.
Best kickoff from Mason Behar I've seen all season. That squib kick to perfect execution. You see how that ball got over the defender, and they're able to gain possession on that one. Just That's what he's been trying to do with these squib kicks, and he finally gets perfect execution on this one.
And then picked up. It was picked up by number 24, Rob Puro, senior. Just hustled his way over and made a great snag for a loose ball. Great play by him for sure.
Yeah, and also just good to see senior Rob Puro get involved in the game here.
Yeah, he actually didn't start playing football, I think, till later in his high school career. I think last year was his first year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And just fantastic to see, him really, really having his moment here as he's greeted with loads of hugs from the sideline from coaches and players.
Yeah, just great effort from Puro, and also obviously the excellent kick from Behar. Having a great kicking night on the field goals and the kickoff. So glad to see Behar having a night there as well.
Quick popcorn break up here in the press box.
Smelling it for a little bit. It smells awesome.
34-0 is your score. Fake to Dustin. Hand off to Asta. Asta sneaks it in. Just a little bit too easy. Just a fake to Dustin. Gives it to Asta. Alan Asta, number 3, doing what he does best. A little handshake there with Dustin. A little hug as well.
Can go both ways there. Fake to Oster, fake to Dustin. One of them getting that ball on that play, and just excellent running backs there. And again, another touchdown where the Warriors running backs have barely been touched. Just going right into the end zone with just free will there. So.
And Mason Bayard gets it in. 41-0. Yes, you heard that right, folks. 41-0 in the first half. First round of the state playoffs here for the Warriors. Again, this Torrington team is a great team. They have so many great players. They have great coaching staff, great plays, but just the Warriors came to play. They came to play. Both sides, defense and offense, just, succeeding, doing their job.
Yeah, Coach Rodriguez needs to just reset, There's still a lot of clock left on this first half. They can get a score here, maybe 2, because Wilton will get the ball after half because they elected to kick with the coin toss. So if you can get 7 or 14 points here, that would be huge to be a momentum shifter or just to reset and get that team going. Curious to see how they come out of the half as well.
Another low one from Behar. It's over the head again, but number 11. Oh my! Wow, Nico Mercado. I mean, I say wow, but I've seen this probably about 20 times. Every single game, Nico just hits people hard.
That's what he does. He's just a menace on the field. You saw it earlier with the tackle for loss. He hits him and he hits him hard. So be ready for Mercado when he's taking you down.
First and 10, Raiders, on their own 30-yard line.
4 minutes and 31 seconds left here. In order to really use this clock successfully, the Raiders really need to go downfield here. I don't believe they were able to get past midfield at all this half. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, honestly, Nick, I think you're right. It's another sneak up the middle. Got about 5 yards on that run. Not a run, excuse me, just the push, really. pretty much just like a wall, being pushed forward. I like to think of it like one of those hydraulic presses, Nick? Where it's like they just like get pushed down. But it just adds a lot of trickery to this Raiders offense.
Curious to see if they go east-west here. What they did to get good play before, and
it's a handoff to number 26. Evan Roman with the flip. Catch on that one, but the Warriors defense continues the stoppage.
I know it hasn't really worked well for the Raiders offense, but what they do is they kind of do like an RPO where they have their QB run outside the pocket and then take it himself or throw it downfield. And I know it hasn't worked, but maybe try that again because running up the gut here just hasn't really worked.
Oh! Roman's taken down.
Right down by number 59 of the Warriors,
Hunter Lishnoff Sr. getting some action there, getting the credit with the tackle there.
Two minutes, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. 41-0. Warriors lead. Timeout Raiders. Second of the first half for Torrington.
Music for halftime. We'll plug in music for halftime. Next room. Okay.
Excellent field position for the Warriors, set up just shy of the 35-yard line. Oh, no, sorry, excuse me. They looked like the Warriors' offense was set up. Sorry, it's a punt for Torrington.
Punting has not gone well for the Raiders, Nick. See what happens. And they get it off. It's high, but it's kind of short. Doesn't really get super far, but the punt was kicked. So that is, something to be said here.
You almost wonder if it would have been worth their while to go for it, given the score and given that punt didn't go very far. Take their chances on fourth down to try to keep that offense out, but they elected to punt here. And again, excellent field position for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Punt was good for 17 yards. Warriors take over on the 48-yard line. First and 10. Wilton.
No Asta for this run. Just Calabrese and Dustin. Calabrese takes a snap. It's a handoff to Dustin. Dustin has it again. He's still pushing forward. Gets down. 15-yard run for Dustin. Just a fantastic run by him. It's that wasn't even really a play, Nick. It was just, give the ball to Dustin, let him do what he does.
Yeah, and we just can't, speak enough on it. The speed and the agility and the power just from Dustin, he's a do-it-all back as well,
Yeah. Now we'll block for Calabrese, and it will be a great throw to number 11, Jake Padilla. To gain about 6 yards there.
It's been a while since they've thrown the ball. Excellent pass from Calabrese there, just making sure they incorporate other things to keep that Torrington defense honest. But great play from Calabrese nonetheless.
Great defense there by the Raiders. Not much Calabrese could do. Didn't get the throw off. We'll set the Warriors back a couple yards there for it to be 3rd and 15, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Calabrese trying to step up in the pocket there. Looked like the edge on the right tackle was able to just go through quickly and just not allow Calabrese to go anywhere in that pocket, and he will ultimately be sacked.
Calabrese and Dustin. 30 seconds left to play in the first half. Padilla motion over the other side. Calabrese liner. Theo Satrazemis tried to have a little slide catch there, but just snuck under his arms.
Second target of the day for Satrazemis. Great effort on that play, trying to make a play on that ball, but ultimately incomplete.
26 seconds remaining in the half.
See if the Warriors punch in once again to make this a 47-0 game here.
Calabrese motions back to pass. It's deep. It's high. Theo Satrazemis makes a fantastic catch to bring it on home for a touchdown.
Just a great throw. Great strong throw from Calabrese with a little pocket pressure right into the hands of Satrazemis. Good for Satrazemis to get on the board. He dropped one early, but gets one back here. Must feel good for him to score a touchdown here in this game.
Honestly, though, Nick, I thought he pretty much almost had that last one. It just last second kind of slipped out.
Yeah.
He had faith in himself. Everyone had faith in him. I know I had faith in him. I knew that catch was going in. Throw it up to Theo, let him make a play.
All the confidence in the world in him. So
Mason Behar once again.
an excellent kick from him once again.
48-0 is our score with 19 seconds left in the first half. No, thank you. Both teams set here. Mason Behar, another low liner. Sneaking through some Raiders players, but they'll dive on it. 17 seconds left here in the first half.
Again, what an excellent squib kick from Mason Behar, wreaking havoc, causing trouble for those Raiders, and just great kick for Behar. 17 seconds left here in the first half.
Probably one of the last plays here. And Torrington will take a knee. As that will do it for the end of the first half. Warriors lead 48-0. An absolutely fantastic start to this game for the Warriors. Torrington's got some things to work on, but we will be back in about 15 minutes for the second half.
equals 14-0. Fairfield Prep 17, Denver 10. Manila 28, Fitch 0. Ludlow 29-10 over Cheshire. And Newtown and Richmond tied at 7 at the half.
Second half, all set to start here. And just a quick little shout out before we get it rolling. Again, this is broadcast is only possible because of our sports broadcasting class at Wilton High School. And just take a look at our Instagram, Creative Classroom 09. Again, Creative Classroom 09. And reach out to Maria Brees, our teacher, if you have any other questions. So, yeah, players all set on the field here, ready to go.
Casey, do you have any first half takeaways you want to share?
Dustin's a dog. That's my takeaway. Dennis Dustin is a dog. And, so is the entire Wilton offense.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you anymore. Again, just that offensive line continues to be lethal for him. And Dustin, Calabrese, Ostad, all great running backs, but, having the help from the offensive line just makes it a lot easier for him. And, the offense is clicking on all cylinders right now. So see what they do here in the first half. Or in the second half, sorry.
There's the punt. Smoked, kind of a low liner. Picked up here by Peter Callias, taken down. Got a couple, about 10 yards there. Just, with the extent of the lead here, it's fair to say, we can expect some other players in the mix here. We'll see some sophomores. So, yeah, we'll take a look here. Number 15, the quarterback, Connor Herlocker. He's a sophomore, so he'll be more in the mix next year when Calabrese graduates, as well as number 25, Zach Feldman at the running back position. So seemed to be some mistake of a communication there.
Yeah, it looked like the quarterback was trying to keep that ball, but the running back wanted to keep it. So fighting over each other for the ball, but might have been mistaken there. Thought it was an option, but just not on the same page there. But you can just see, just sophomore, inexperienced, but that's just. You'll get it over time, and in a no pressure situation right now, it's a good spot for him to learn.
Yeah, agreed. The lead is just so immense, 48-0.
Warriors just have to do their job and can play chew clock while also getting some first downs there. Make sure they're not standstill on offense.
Herlocker looks to take it himself. Slides around there.
It's a pretty excellent run there from Harlacher. Pretty skilled run. I believe there may be an injury for the Warriors. Yeah, the training staff is going out there to check on them.
Herlocker looks to take the snap here. And it's a little flip there to Peter Callias. Peter Callias tries to slick up the middle.
Yeah, a little bit of a bobble there. Maybe brought a little too much attention to that and wasn't able to run up the middle. But, just another sophomore trying to get his feet wet here with varsity time and should be a big contributor next year once the senior class graduates.
Punting unit will come in for the Warriors. McAndrews with a rocket. That's a bomb.
Excellent punt from McAndrews. First punt of the game for the Warriors, and gets him, buried him inside the 10-yard line. That's an awesome punt there.
That punt was good for 56 yards, no return, and will be spotted at about the 5-yard line.
Some of the younger guys getting some reps on defense as well, not just offense. You know, both sides of the ball. They're just going to get some younger guys' feet wet here.
Doing it again. More of the little trick plays here from the Raiders.
Looks like it'll be an encroachment on the defense here.
Offsides, Warriors.
Roman takes a snap, sneaks in, just got the first down.
Brought down by a number of Warriors.
It's another good run from the Raiders there.
Hudson Wilton leading that group.
They've stuck with that fullback in the two fullbacks in the backfield. They haven't really had any different personnel besides that. So that's the game plan that Rodriguez has for the Raiders here.
Levitt on the carry. Hudson Wilson with the tackle. Pick up a 4 on the play.
It's been a fairly short third quarter here. We're down to 6 minutes and 6 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Jason Gap carries the ball up the middle. Hudson Wilson leading the charge for the Warriors.
Nice tackle there by Hudson Paulson.
Levin Roman. Levitt takes a snap this time. Levitt's tossed back. No surprise again. As
Nowhere
the
to
Warriors
go.
have another stop.
Levitt on the carry.
The minute that ball was snapped, it looked like that defense collapsed on an offensive line and preventing any gain on any yardage.
On the play, 2nd and 10.
Roman finds a lane, and he's... What a tackle. What a tackle by Hudson Paulson, number 32. That was just... Oh my gosh, that was fantastic.
Saved a touchdown there, it's a wake-up call for that Warriors defense, just a burst of power and speed there. Their first time really breaking through on that offensive line there. So good for the Raiders offense there. Hopefully starting to get some momentum here in the third quarter.
Roman again. Nowhere to go.
Max Totten in on tackle for Wilton.
Max Todd, number 44. You know, great football player, but you know, I think one of his other things, he's a fantastic basketball player. You know, basketball tryouts tomorrow. Unfortunately, these football players will not be able to attend, but you know, for me, I'll be on the trying out for the basketball team. It's all tomorrow, and yeah, Max Todd, he's a great basketball player. Long kid, bouncy. Roman will take this one. Roman will be on his feet still.
Nice upfield
Got the
blocking
first
there
down.
from the Raiders. But yes, Max Totten is in line to be the starting center for the Warriors here in his senior year.
Pickup of 6 on the play and a great first down. First and 10.
Center for basketball.
Yep.
Starting basketball center.
He's a defensive end here on the football field. Recorded his first tackle of the game a play or two ago. Raiders set up with the first down here.
Levitt now tries to find a gap. Nowhere.
Carry. Luciano on the stop. Pickup of a yard on the play. Second and 9.
We're just under 2 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Roman on the carry.
Roman with the carry again.
Brought down by Zach Wilton. Pickup of 2 yards on the play. Third down.
No, I meant children that age.
Levitt here. Pushes through. Powering through.
Makes a gap.
Definitely a nice burst there from the Raiders.
Yeah, that's, you know, that offensive line is really starting to bring some value here for the Raiders. Pushing that pile to gain some extra yards. That's something you kind of see in the NFL, these big guys pushing the running back for extra yardage, and good for the Raiders to execute it to their advantage.
Roman, nowhere to go.
10 seconds left here. Should take us to the end of the third quarter. And it does. We are 3 quarters under here in the first round of the playoffs here. Warriors are up 48-0. A nice commanding lead here. Looking to close it out in the fourth quarter. Raider offense kind of driving a little bit. See if that Warriors defense can have a little bit of bend but don't break. Maybe hold it to 3 points. 7 points wouldn't be the end of the world, but, you know, see if they can still show that great defense that we know and love.
Sophomores, Caleb Weisborn, Mario Beltrano, Sophie Crowley, Sophie Lukic, and Zayna Lakeith. And the freshman, Caitlin Kovac, Isabella Mercado, Isabella Vega, Jasmine Lynn, and Peggy Sofega. And their coaches, Maggie China and Rachel Silverstein. Great job, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, cheer team. Great job. Second and about 7.
2nd and 7 here for the Raiders. Pushing closer and closer to their first touchdown. To push there from the middle once again. Talked a little bit about this before, but these are some big boys, the Raiders. You know, they're pushing. They can push. They can really push that Warriors defense back. You know, you see number 67 rush hustle on the field there. That's just you can just look at any of these guys, right? Any of this offensive line. That's a big boys.
Yeah, these Raiders got some big guys here, and you saw it before in the third quarter. The upfield blocking was just amazing there.
Roman here, Roman, sneaking to the end zone. Touchdown. That will bring the score to 48-6 as Roman gets his first touchdown of the night for the Raiders. Great run there by him to put him on the board, make it so it's not a shutout.
Great second half start though for the Raiders.
Fourth quarter, yeah.
You know, that blocking in the third quarter was just said, and that blocking on that play right there, you know, allowing his player to go upfield. You know, this is the first time we've really seen these guys get significant yardage. Good for the Raiders to finally see some of that hard work on that offensive line and play calling. You know, good to see some credit there. So, Raiders looking to make it a 48-7 game here.
It's up. No good.
So the score remains 48-6 with 10 minutes and 25 seconds left to play here in the game.
Jackson Buracurini's kick is no good. Heat to receive the kickoff, number 25, Zach Feldman. Peter Kalani's also back there. Correction, Peter Kalani's.
9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Powerful line drive there to number. Ooh, nice run there by number 26, Peter Calais, on the return there.
It will be sophomore Connor Harlacher behind the helm for the Warriors once again. Eight minutes and 20 seconds remain here in the game. Warriors currently up 48-6 on the Raiders. That was Luke Barrios on the carry there. No really nowhere to go on that one.
Number 20, Luke Barrios, and number 15, Connor Herlocker together here. Herlocker looking to take it himself. Herlocker's on the outside. Big hit there. Connor Herlocker. Great carry there.
Little welcome to varsity football there for Connor Herlocker.
You know, that kind of looked pretty similar to the Josh Dart.
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart, excuse me. Really, ooh, bad. But that was it looked like the Jackson Dart moment where in the last Giants game where, you know, Jackson Dart wasn't looking to slide. He was looking to keep going. Got slammed out of bounds. That was pretty similar to what just happened there.
Yeah, Monday night.
Herlocker and Barrios. Hand off to Luke Barrios. Gets a little caught there, but he's just knocked down there.
Looked like he had a little bit of a hole, but having trouble really trying to find that, and, you know, wasn't really able to really find anything there. Just staying behind the line of scrimmage, ultimately for no gain. But let's continue to do what the Warriors want to do. Not really looking for big yardage now. They're just looking to keep this clock running here. We're just at 6 minutes left here in the game, so 48-6 is the score. Warriors leading.
Herlocker fakes the handoff. Herlocker has it himself. Pushing through, and he's down. Nice carry there by him.
I think this guy's going to do great things here in the Wilton system. You know, he's got the raw talent right there. You know, I like the skill, like the agility there to get some yardage there. But with some more practice, some more game time, you know, I can really see this guy becoming a little bit of a polished talent and the future quarterback for the Warriors.
Herlocker running again.
Brought down by number 17, Mason Rose. That'll bring up fourth down, fourth and a long two.
Fourth and 2 for the Warriors. It's going to be around 4 minutes left when they snap the ball.
Late game. That makes it 4th and about 8.
Can you drive me back to my car? Entering the game now, Patch Ingerame. Beloved by all.
Fan
in the
favorite.
Wilton community. And he'll take a knee. Everybody's loving it.
Big ovation there for Patrick Angerami.
That was the trick play.
On down, so Wilton will go to the Raiders.
Number 21, Cameron Roxbury with that run. There. A minute 30 seconds left to play in this game. 48 to 6, excuse me. 48 to 6 is the score.
Second and 6.
Clock is still running here. A minute and 30 seconds left in the ball game.
Snaps a little low, and it'll be taken down. Just pummeled. Curtis Jackson and number 75, Leo Luciano. Great tackle by him.
Just under a minute left here in the fourth quarter.
Run play here. Finds a little gap. Nice tackle there by the Warriors. 30 seconds left in this one. And, we can pretty much, maybe one play left here, but we can call it a wrap. And that'll be it. The Wilton Warriors will advance to the next round of the state playoffs. 48 to 6 was your final score. I've been your host, Casey Meyer. And
I'm Nick Marini.
Thank you to the sports broadcasting program for allowing this all to happen. And reach out to Maria Grease and look up Creative Classroom 09 on Instagram. Thank you so much. Bye.